Darrell Allison. She's managed social service programs in Michigan and Oregon. She has held faculty positions at community college level and currently is with the University of Phoenix in advanced studies. Darrell has presented in numerous state and national conferences. She has been a business consultant and life executive coach since 1994 and founded Enabling Solutions with her partner. A recognized expert in trauma and transcendence. Darrell, you're going to tell me if I pronounce that right.
That doesn't sound right.
Darrell has chosen to put her experience.
I'm sure that wasn't right. I'm sorry.
And love of people into assisting individuals and the stress and sometimes trauma experience in a very common process of moving from one home or location to another. Thank you for being with us, Dr. Allison. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Pete?
Well, if I were any better, I'd be twins, but that would be scary.
That would scare me, actually.
I think Deborah's got some questions for you and some conversation to have.
All right.
Well, now, first of all, was that Transcendence over there a minute ago? I wasn't reading what he was reading.
Yes, it was Transcendence.
Thank you. Okay, good. Now, tell us about your business, the one that is Transitioning Adults Plus. I know a little bit about it, but our listeners don't, so please give us some information about that.
Okay, Transitioning Adults Plus is actually an opportunity for us to take our passion to provide service, embodying trust, integrity, and relationship in a person-centered approach to help boomers and their parents through late-in-life transitions. Some of the areas that we face as we're aging as multiple generations living past retirement, and the concerns that people face include whether they're going to outlive their finances, and maintaining a sense of relevance in the world, and just wanting to remain in control of their lives. And we're out there helping people with planning and just keeping them connected with those dreams and goals so that life doesn't become boring after retirement from work. It becomes invigorating and exciting.
Well, you know what's interesting about the baby boomer generation is because everybody is living longer, thank goodness.
Yes.
The boomers tend to have children issues and parent issues, don't they?
That's very true.
So I guess they call us the sandwich generation, or that's a sandwich situation.
It is.
And uncomfortable and confusing and scary can be some of the watchwords for the day if you haven't made a plan. Is that right?
That's very true. And, you know, when we went to work, we learned that a failure to plan was a plan to fail. And then we retire and we think, oh, it's just going to all fall in place. Wrong. You still need to plan.
Well, think about how many people have had a certain, view of what was going to happen, and then either their health has failed, or their business did not do what it was supposed to do, or the corporation that they were working for did not honor their retirement plan. I mean, there's things that have happened to people that are just throw them into a topsy-turvy world. So what do you do with that?
Well, what we'd like to do is get with people well before they've had an experience of a failure of a transition and sit down and do a planning session with them. We have three main services, and one of them is our person-centered life planning that involves the individual who's thinking transitions might come along, as well as any family members or important parties that they feel should be in discussion with them to help develop a plan, put a binder together of some of the what-ifs that may occur and some of the things they're expecting. I have a disability. I know I'm losing the ability to use my arm because of carpal tunnel or because of arthritis or because of some nerve disorder. And as I lose that ability, I want to maintain my quality of life. So these are things I'm going to have in place and be prepared to changes to make. We put that binder together with them so that they have that to move forward. That's just one aspect of what we do. Pete mentioned relocation guidance. If somebody is planning on moving, a lot of that can be overwhelming. I know when my parents had to move, wow, they had spent over 50 years in the same house. Can you imagine what was collected there?
Now, did that happen to be part of what caused you to think about doing this as a business?
That was definitely a motivator.
It's like, okay, it was an experience for you, and now you can share what you learned and then the training that you have had and so forth.
I can, yes. That experience took a 6-month period of going back and forth and showing my parents different places they could live, narrowing down the focus to where they wanted to live, coordinating with the movers for them, getting everything packed up, moved in, getting the house set up, and we're putting all of that experience into practice in Transitioning Adults Plus.
And then you also do training for the family and the caregivers?
Yes. We've taken training with the Area Agency on Aging to present powerful tools for caregivers. And, the statistics show that in many instances the caregiver is the first person to die because they have put all of their energy into the person who needs care. People need to know how to take care of themselves and how to use their natural supports as well as the various agency supports that are around in the communities to help them when they're caring for a loved one. They don't have to turn it all over to someone else, but they need to turn over enough to take care of themselves as well.
Right. This reminds me of on the airplane, for example, when the oxygen mask drops, they say put the mask on yourself first and then help a child or somebody else next to you that needs help, because if you can't help, in other words, if the caregiver has not taken care of herself or himself, like you say, they're going to crash and burn.
That is so true.
So put your own mask on first. Now, are there other major concerns that boomers face today other than that whole sandwich generation that I was talking about, both ends of the spectrum? What else do we have to worry about?
Well, one of the things that I've noted is the lengthening age spans. As long as we're living longer, we're having more and more people retired at once, and it is not at all unusual to have 2 generations and possibly even 3 generations of retired family members at one time.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about it, my grandmother's sister is approaching 100. My mother and father are both approaching 90, and I'm over 50. Well, I just turned 55 this year. So,
Yay! Yay!
Yay! Another 55. But we've got this stacking of generations of retired persons, and no one wants to sit back and watch TV and feel like they're worthless in the world. So there's a sense of relevance that people really need, and in order to maintain that relevance, people need to know where and how to share their wisdom, the things that they've gained through their lives, with the rest of the community.
I'm actually making notes because I find this very interesting. So stay relevant and share wisdom. And does this society make a place for that?
There's a lot of place for that, but people don't know about how they can do that. We work closely with Beatitudes Center Door, developing older adult resources, and one of their programs is specifically helping people to share their wisdom so that people who are older are able to maintain relevance in the community.
I've just lost my train of thought. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a 54-year-old moment or... No, I'm just kidding. Now, who might need your services?
We're working closely with individuals whose families are considering the possibility of later-in-life transitions. There are caregivers who are taking care of loved ones in their home, or also just calling weekly or daily or every other day to check on loved ones in other parts of the country. There are individuals who expect health issues to eventually mean a move and may want to plan for financial, medical, residential changes in advance. Those are the individuals who might benefit from our person-centered life planning. Couples or individuals who no longer need a huge house but are overwhelmed with the idea of planning a move may just need some help downsizing. My parents didn't move into assisted living. They're 88 and 90 this year, and they just moved to a smaller place where somebody else is responsible for the yard and the upkeep of the building. Right.
Now, we've only got about 1 minute left. This went fast, didn't it? I know that you are certified by the Society of Certified Senior Advisors.
That's
I think
correct.
That's an incredible honor.
It's an
a lot of work.
An important work. The society provides a foundation for people to lock their ethics and integrity into the work they do. They qualify us to maintain a sense of importance of the senior and boomer population that we work with, to make sure that those individuals get what is an honest, fair service from us.